Now that our Bills have gotten off to a hot start, can our Sabres follow suit? Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe. Welcome to a Buffalo Sabres edition of Believers Talk as we get you ready for the 2019-2020 NHL season. Tonight is the first Buffalo Sabres preseason game, so we wanted to give you a look at what to expect from our Buffalo Sabres this season. Now, I know we're all excited about our Buffalo Bills, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button, guys, because tonight during halftime of Monday Night Football, we will be going live to give you my reaction and my breakdown of what happened yesterday in the 28-14 win over the New York, New Jersey Giants. So again, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about our Buffalo Sabres looking ahead at the 2019-2020 NHL season. When we talk about the Buffalo Sabres going into the season, I think we have to start with, of course, the new head coach, right? Hutton's out. Ralph Krueger hired as the Buffalo Sabres' new head coach, and I was very skeptical of this move when it happened. And guys, I gotta be honest, I'm still a little skeptical today. But the thing about Ralph Krueger is, the thing about this hire in general is, they didn't just get a safe pick, right? Getting Ralph Krueger, a guy who has spent a lot of time over in the soccer scene internationally, is not the safe choice, not what a lot of experts thought the Buffalo Sabres were going to do. And that normally happens with your not safe pick. You're normally a little skeptical, but they're going against the grain, looking for something different. Again, this is a Buffalo Sabres team who has not made the playoffs in 8 straight seasons. Now, again, this could really be feast or famine. We can have Ralph Krueger come in, the players buy into his system, and then all of a sudden you look at this team and they play like they did last November. Remember, guys, last November, Sabres had a 10-game winning streak. Sabres were first in the Atlantic Division. Everything was looking good, but then it just went downhill fast from there. The Sabres finished 6th in the Atlantic last season and out of the playoffs, like I said, for the 8th straight season. So it all starts with, do the Buffalo Sabres fall in line with what Ralph Krueger has to say and what he believes, what he's going to try to teach, or do they go out and do their own thing? We could tell by the end of Hutton's time here in Buffalo, the players weren't really listening to him, and that's really one of the reasons I believe that he was fired after 2 seasons with the Sabres. I mean, if you don't have control of the locker room, then you really can't consider yourself a good head coach, and you have to move on. You have to move on to another head coach who hopefully can take control of that locker room and give us a chance to win. Now you talk about the Buffalo Sabres again last season, finishing 33, 39, and 10. 6th in the Atlantic, missed the playoffs for the 8th straight season. Yeah, you look at our scoring last season, 90 of our 221 goals, which is about 41% of our goals, were scored by 3 guys, and that's our whole first line. So in 2019-2020, we need to see better secondary scoring. We need to see more consistency of our second line, third line, things like that. Without that, we're kind of up the creek. Now, we know that we signed Jeff Skinner to a long-term deal this offseason, making Jeff Skinner and Jack Eichel the highest paid 1-2 combo in the NHL. If you're going to pay players like that, should they be responsible for most of your goals? Absolutely. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but what's wrong with them being responsible for 90 of our 260 goals, or something like that, where that number of total goals increases? Did not finish with the highest offense last season, always can improve. And we tried to do that in this offseason. Some key additions we traded with the New York Rangers to get Jimmy Vesey, and then we also traded with the New Jersey Devils to get Marcus Johansson, who previously was with the Washington Capitals as well. So those are 2 forwards that we added this season to hopefully help our offense. Again, kind of some young players on that offense, and we know Jack Eichel is that captain now. This is going to be, I believe, his 5th season with the team. Now it's time for him to really turn the corner. We know he has the skill to do it. We saw it last season. We've seen his whole career. He has the skill. Now he just needs to put that to use in a team aspect that might help us win a few more games, possibly break that 8-year playoff drought. You look at defensemen, the additions there over this offseason. We traded for Colin Miller from the Vegas Golden Knights, and we also traded for Henry Jokiharju from the Chicago Blackhawks. I probably messed up that last name, so I apologize for that. But again, one of the biggest losses for the offseason was Jason Pominville, guys. I was a huge, and still am a huge Jason Pominville fan. He's still sitting there in free agency. I just think with our current winger position, we no longer need him. I said last season we would need help at left wing just because of all the unrestricted free agents we had. Again, we re-signed Jeff Skinner, and we definitely got a little bit of youth there at the left winger spot as well. So I'm not sure if we're going to need Jason Pominville down the line here, but he's a free agent. So if teams are looking for some winger help, I think he is still available. I think he could still get the job done. You look at the young talent on this team. I'm talking about Casey Milstead. Now everyone knows that we traded O'Reilly last season because we thought Milstead could do the job on the second line. We saw what happened with O'Reilly, right? I know Sabres fans probably getting a little annoyed hearing about that, but Milstead needs to step up. Milstead needs to show that he can be a dominant force on that second line. We talked about secondary scoring just a minute ago. Casey Milstead can help with that, and I think if you put him along with some of your new forwards, maybe a Jimmy Vesey, that might help out that second unit, open things up, create some more scoring for the Buffalo Sabres. And then you also look at Rasmus Dahlin, a rookie last season, looked really good late in the year last year. So we look for a continued improvement from him. Bringing up some guys from Rochester who looked good last year late in the season, scoring some goals in limited time with the Buffalo Sabres. And then also a guy that's kind of hot and cold, right? A lot of Sabres fans like him. A lot of Sabres fans don't like him. I'm still on the fence about Ristolainen for the Buffalo Sabres. I think that he can show a lot of improvement this season, and he needs to. I think he needs to show more consistency because I know he was talking about being traded during the offseason. Obviously, he's still on the Sabres team, but I think he can do the job, and I think that the Buffalo Sabres believe that he can do the job. That's why he wasn't traded this offseason. Again, new head coach. This is going to be Jack Eichel's third head coach in his young NHL career. Talking about Ralph Kruger. Let's see again how this team buys into the system and see what they can do. Now you look at the Buffalo Sabres and what's the most important position in hockey, kind of like that quarterback in football. You want to talk about that goaltending position. Last year, our save percentage for the goalie position finished 22nd in the NHL. 21st in the NHL with a save percentage of just over 90%, so 90.1 to be exact percent. That's not good. That's why I ranked 21st in the league last year. That means for 1 out of every 10 shots going in. We need better consistency out of the net minding. Again, kind of like the whole Buffalo Sabres team. Hutton started off strong, Allmark started off strong, and then they fizzled out the second half of the season. We need that consistency throughout the year in what's going to be a very strong Atlantic division this year for the NHL. And that's going to be the tough part, right? This Buffalo Sabres team might be fighting for that 8th or 7th playoff spot, but when you talk about an Atlantic division that just has so many good teams, so much good depth, are they going to be able to do that? I mean, this Sabres team is going to be 5th or 6th again in the Atlantic Division this season. So it's just a matter of if they can finish 8th overall, maybe pick up one of those wild card spots, and maybe they surprise some people. Maybe Ralph Kruger has something in store for some teams that no one was expecting. Again, we see the Bills starting 2-0. Would be nice to see the Sabres get off to the same type of start, just starting off hot and maybe surprising some people, including myself. I do not expect a lot out of this Buffalo Sabres team. I expect growth. I expect to see maturity, and I expect to see more than we saw last season. Last season, 33, 39, 10. I expect to see improvement on that. But can we make the playoffs? I'm not sure if we can do that. We finished 22 points out of the playoffs last season. I expect us to finish maybe in single digits out of the playoffs this season, which means it's going to be fun, right? It's going to be fun to watch the Buffalo Sabres this season. Maybe finish 9th or 10th in the conference, but I just see us missing out this season for a 9th straight year. But I love being wrong, so I don't mind if I'm wrong this time as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, I know most of the time we cover Buffalo Bills news, and we'll continue to do that, including tonight when I give you my live reaction and recap from the game yesterday against the Giants. But we need to keep you updated on all Buffalo sports. This is the Buffalo Sabres. We streamed the Buffalo Bulls football game against Penn State. We're going to keep you updated on Buffalo sports, so you want to hit that subscribe button. After you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Notifies you when we have new videos, new content coming out. Also follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and you'll see the links for that in the description below. teaming up with #sports to give you every single Buffalo Bills game this year, live play-by-play and reaction. Did it yesterday for the Giants game. Paul Mario did week 1 for the Jets game. I will be joining you week 3 for the Bengals game. We're going to be covered all season long. So you want to subscribe to #sports as well. Go over to sportscaster.com. Find the content over there as well. Also teaming up with bewarethestampede.com. Fan-ran website for Buffalo Bills, one-stop shop for all your Buffalo Bills information. Make sure you go there and check that out as well. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Again, let me know what you think how the Buffalo Sabres are going to do. First day preseason starts today for our Sabres. Let's see how they do this year. Again, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we can make a playoff push and maybe finish 3rd or 4th in the Atlantic Division. I just don't see it happening this year. Just missing out this year, but seeing improvement, playing meaningful games towards the end of the year, talking about April, maybe playing a meaningful game or 2. So I look forward to watching this season. I hope you guys join me for that as well. I'll talk to you all soon. Until I do, go Sabres.